She kept looking up at me and noticing that I was watching, and she kind of would cock her head to the side and say, "What?" I said, "No, nothing, I'm just watching." And this happened a few times. And so finally she looks at me and she says, "Do you want the special?"
This is where we're at. You're gonna go Parampong, Tonglo, you get off on Ikimai.
It's Monday morning. I haven't been here on a work day. We got here Friday evening, so we've been here for the weekend. But coming out here on Monday, it's just a really different vibe. I'm not sure how to explain it exactly, but it's almost like people are different. They're not as happy, maybe because it's Monday morning. But even the restaurants that are normally open aren't open, which I find really unusual. They seem to open earlier on the weekend. And things seem kind of intense, kind of busy. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this. Interesting. It is so hot out here. So I'm meeting someone for coffee. Haven't eaten. Really hungry. I'm hot. I'm sweaty. I'm gross. I did go and get a massage, a legitimate massage, and Thai massage, which is different than a massage that I've gotten in the U.S. It was really nice. It was wonderful. It was only like, I think it cost me $10. Amazing. While I got hit by a motorcycle just now. So while I was getting massaged, the woman who was massaging me was quite amazing at what she was doing. I like to watch people work when they do, I don't know, when they do something well, when they do something really well. I like to watch people do that. I'm curious about that. So I started watching her and noticed she had these clunk hands, like a mass of muscle and bone hands. And I imagine something she acquired with this truck pass so that I don't get killed. I imagine something she acquired from doing massages probably all her life. I started to think, well, they look a lot like man's hands. Maybe she's transgender. And when I heard her voice, she sounded like a man. And so I thought, okay, this is an interesting experience. Never had anything quite like this. But I'm not scared. And I don't see anything wrong with it, so no big deal. She kept looking up at me and noticing that I was watching, and she kind of would cock her head to the side and say, "What?" I said, "No, nothing, I'm just watching." And this happened a few times. And so finally she looks at me and she says, "Do you want the special?" At first I was just like, "What?" Because to me this had been totally legit the whole time. And I said, "Oh, no, no special." It made me realize like how much the sex trade is woven into the economy, to business, to everything here. It would be easy for me as an American tourist to look down on that, to judge it, to say that's bad. And the truth is, what's the point? I don't live here. I don't know what these people go through, what their lives are, and it would just be dumb.
Wait, so, do you have a...
Seagull. Just flew in from Phuket, where she was on an amazing yoga retreat. I'm happy you're here.
Happy to be here.
So then you get quiet when I turn the camera on.
Yeah, it was... God, seriously, yoga retreat goes summer camp for adults. We just could not stop laughing, making, like, stupid sexual jokes, and, like, just, like, my stomach and my face hurt from laughing so hard every single night.
Were they all straight?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, have you tried a papaya salad yet?
Yeah, I think,
There's...
well, okay, so here's what's going on. James is going to an island. He already booked the trip.
What island?
San Cop, I think, or it's supposed to be, you're off camera.
Oh, well,
It's supposed to be a beautiful island. It's like $100, gets you there in in 2 nights. I think is what it.
Oh.
No, I think we have to book how to get there, but $100. I think it's 2 nights. It's supposed to be beautiful.
Yeah.
And so he already booked his trip. He was supposed to go with some woman he had connected with from last time when he was here.
Yeah.
And then she got really clingy. What I was thinking, if we want to do Angkor Wat, it would have to be tomorrow probably. So I'd want to come back to Bangkok over the weekend.
Yeah.
This is where the party's at during the weekend.
Okay.
It'd be a pretty intense trip because we'd have to fly there tomorrow morning.
I feel like I kind of need to like regroup.
Okay.
Like I want to sleep and do some laundry.
Go out to the island on Tuesday, stay there till Thursday, come back to Bangkok, and then probably fly out to Singapore on Sunday.
Call United probably and try and change my flight.
Okay.
Because I do want to do Singapore. Because most everybody I was with was like, you need to do Singapore.
Oh, did they know? I don't even know cool things to do in Singapore. Do you know?
They just said it's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a beautiful city.
Exactly. They said it's very low stress and just immaculate. So
I'm dying to know.
Yeah.
Do you find the Thai women?
That means tackling major scientific and technological challenges.
There's her and Daniela, who Daniela is like a teacher and practitioner, is Erica. Phenomenal assist. And she was like, yeah, so who's talked to Damon? Like, where's Damon? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, when I told her, I was like, I think some things changed at his office where he actually has to be present now. And I was like, but actually I'm meeting up with him in Bangkok next month. And she's known about my trip or whatever. And she was like, that's so awesome. I'm so happy you guys will have it. Like, she's like, I'm really happy to hear that.
I was at that hypnosis thing in San Diego. I knew that when I got back, that Monday morning I was going to be reporting for duty in the office.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, it's going to be 2 months. You're going to be fine, Damon. It's not what you like doing, but it's going to be fine. It's 2 months. I jump in, and things are pretty okay. And then I started having those issues with my employee, and I started having clients leaving me, and I didn't understand the damage she was doing and how toxic she was. But I think she knew, like, I was on to her, like I was figuring this stuff out. I gave her every chance. Like, I'd sit her down, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And how can I help you to resolve this? Because I didn't want to fire her. And then that's when I started looking for another person. I texted my office manager who was on maternity leave. She wouldn't contact us, like, after she had the baby. And we're like, I've worked with her for 9 years, so I was like,
yeah, like
hey.
a little communication.
Yeah, I was like, well, we want to know too. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you have a baby. Like, we care. Like, we want to know. And I started to get suspicious. Texted her, said, everything cool? Like, you're coming back? She said, oh yeah, everything's cool. 2 weeks later, I texted her again, when are you coming back? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then I just kind of lost it because it was like, I don't know, it was like I'd been 6 weeks into it. I thought that I only had like 2 more weeks to go. And I was just so ready to not be in that office anymore so I could get back to this. And I've been collaborating with this guy, Matt, from Poland, and we've been planning a lot of stuff. And then I'm launching this new channel. I had so much going on. I was just like, I just can't wait to get back to all of that so I could do that full time, even though I'm still doing it. And I'm working on that training. Like, my life was, I go to work all day. I see my kids for a bit. Then I go back to work at home. And then I would sometimes fall asleep at the computer working. So it was just like nonstop. Because I had thought that she started off with morning only, and then I thought she moved to doing Ashtanga 2 nights a week back there. That's what I thought. Maybe I didn't read it correctly.
No, she's full-time with Santa Cruz Yoga now. So she quit the studio in Los Gatos, and she's teaching Mysore in the mornings.
Okay.
Just right now, it's just Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Huh.
I don't have the time to go. I still practice, but I practice in the evening. It was like my life totally changed, and I thought I was just waiting for it to get back to normal. And then it was like, it ain't getting back to normal. It's you need to change. And I went through some heavy shit because all this stuff that started, like deep emotional stuff started coming up for me, which is stuff that came up for me with the first 2 years that I opened my office, which later, part of that was the end of my marriage. Part of that was me realizing insurance ain't where it's at for me. And I hadn't really dealt with it. Like, I had used yoga, I'd used NLP, I'd gone to therapy, but I hadn't really dealt with it. Shit that went back to like childhood and realizing this family system of bullying and victimhood and passive aggressiveness that went way back to like family origin shit. My friend Matt, who's also a psychologist, he was pushing on me really hard. He was like, wake the fuck up, and like he was going at me really, really hard. And I was just came back to him, I was like, man, you need to shut the fuck up. Like I was angry at him. And he was like, it's nice to meet Damon's shadow. Welcome. And I was like, you motherfucker, and like, but he knew what was happening to me. He had picked up on it when we were in San Diego, and I was telling him how I had to go back to my office and everything. He saw that there was some shit that I hadn't dealt with. And it's what he would refer to as core feelings, like stuff that happens in your childhood that you don't, feelings that you never deal with, and you isolate those feelings. And so it's like a...
Erica helped bring those out of me.
Yeah, it's hard to go at it on your own. You usually have to have somebody...
No, you can't. Essentially, you won't. That's deep, dark, dirty work that unless it's kind of extracted, you're not going to really do it.
And it hurts. It really hurts.
It's not fucking comfortable at all.
Yeah. There was an evening where I just went home. I did yoga. I shut my phone off. And I went through some, like, heavy, painful stuff that lasted about, like, really powerful for, like, 2 hours. And then after that, it was, like, some residual, like, later. And then I had a relapse, like, a few weeks later. And he told me that was going to happen. He was like, yeah, you're going to get a relapse, so it's going to come back. And it did. But I knew what was happening, so I dealt with it much better. Or you never let it process, but when you finally do, it's like you become free of it. And that's what I felt. And so I was like, I went back into that office and I started taking control. I fired that other employee. I hired someone new. Started pulling everything back together. Yeah. And then I thought, I'm not going to be able to come to Thailand. Like I was this close to having to cancel.
Right? Like one of your texts was like, what?
Yeah, and I was, it was that bad. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I went to my office manager. I said, look, if you're not, I need you back in that office every single day while I'm gone, or I'm canceling my trip to Thailand. And that's when she felt bad. And she was like, no, don't do that. I'll be back in the office every day. You need this trip.
You said what you spoke what you wanted.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to get back to the point where I was before. And I don't know if it's ever going to be...
Do you want to get back to it?
Well, I want to get to the point where I don't have to... That I can put all my attention and focus on the things that I want to do to make money rather than the thing that...
For sure, but I think a big emotional release was necessary to...
I needed that.
Improve, grow, and continue.
I needed that.
You know?
When you're not moving in the direction or utilizing your potential, you suffer. That's what happens.
As uncomfortable as the situation as it was, and it's more a shot to my ego. Like my boss did me the biggest favor by firing me. Truly. Still be working there and still be concerned about going back there after this trip if he didn't do that. And I hated being there every day. But I just didn't have the courage or the
Well, it's a kind of safety, you know. You know that it's there. That's how you make your money.
And it's just the fear of change, and I guess the only thing I'm upset about is that I didn't have the courage to do it sooner.
Let yourself off the hook.
Yeah.
One thing that I learned is that I can get a lot more done than I thought.
Yeah.
Because with everything that I'm doing, I couldn't believe I could get this much done, and it's because I have to. Sure, I don't have to. I could always quit everything, but in order to do what I want to do, in order to maintain an income and all those things, I'm amazed at what I'm able to do, and in each minute, how much I'm squeezing every single minute, and that's why I needed this. This was such a well-deserved vacation. It wasn't that whenever I bought the tickets, but man, it became that. And so I so needed this.
We were having coffee, and both her and Bill were like, "Yeah, where's Damon?" I was like, his work. I thought it was really cool for both of them to ask, because I know both you and her have had some back and forths before.
Nothing serious. Nothing that would jeopardize the relationship, the friendship. Mm-hmm. I give her the authority of a teacher. I don't question that. Mosquito. The typhoid vaccination?
No.
No?
No.
Hepatitis?
No.
I did both of them. I looked on the government website, and they said they recommended those two. I went to my doctor. I said, "What do you think?" She's like, "Yeah, keep those two." So I got it.
Yeah.
You're gonna get sick.
What?
So you're gonna get sick.
Dude, I got all my vitamins, brought my fucking probiotics and shit.
But we're not exposed to like the bacteria levels here, like
Yeah.
we are. Like I mean, in California, we're not exposed to what they have here. So it's like it's just a matter of like your immune system.
I know, and so I have a shit ton of vitamins, you know that.
I believe in vitamins, but there's just like when your immune system hasn't been exposed. I just didn't want to take a chance of getting something. I want to take the chance of getting something serious like typhoid or hepatitis.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Take that for now. I'll buy you some drinks or whatever.
yeah. I know where you live. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You like the freedom in this country. So does James, and that's why he's moving here.
So funny. So how is he with women? Because he just seems so shy. And
he's pretty forward. Like he's practiced.
He seems so shy to me.
He's like worked on that part of him so that he can do it.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, we bring it up. We bring it
Oh,
up. There. Okay. Condom.
Oh yeah.
Condom and cabbage.
Yeah, we'll take it up. We'll take it up.
Okay, so you need one of these. You should carry it just because you got it from here.
Oh yeah, I know.
Is it just the women? Is that why you're moving here? He's like, no, I was just teasing him.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's the experience. Because that I don't know, I don't know if you know, but like women do treat at least white American men very well
I
here.
already know. We were joking about it in Phuket because they were like, how do we find the best massage parlor? And I was all, whatever one you see most white men walking into. Everybody started laughing.
No, well, it's not even that. I mean, that you're paying for it, but like in general, the women here they treat.
They genuinely want to please.
From what I understand, because James has a friend who's been here for 4 years, who's white and American. Thai people don't quite like that white American men come here for that, and that they instantly get status because of their skin color and their nationality, and so yeah, the guys are not too happy about that, and the women do gravitate to them. And I'm not, we kind of have that privilege, and it's I don't know, it's just women respond better, they show up, they go out on the dates or whatever, they like you. It's the matches that I got on Tinder, I just don't see that back home in California. Like I don't get that many matches ever there. It was just like the freedom, like it's just not the same laws and regulations
not as government
here.
regulated.
Yeah. Now, there's a dark side to that, and that's what we discussed too.
Sure.
There is a dark side to that because I come from New Orleans, and New Orleans is very much like that. But I can tell you, New Orleans has very much a dark side because of that.
Yeah.
How do you tip on this? You want me to sign this one?
Let's just do.
Just sign your name; they'll figure it out. And it's interesting. His strategy for freedom is to move here. Like that's giving him sense of,
just leave.
and my sense of freedom is like financial freedom, where I make money without having to trade my time for it, and I make money in a way that, like on the internet, where I don't have to show up to an office. I don't have to have an office, so I eliminate that overhead. And it was just interesting to have that discussion about like how we have different strategies to go about freedom. Neither one's better than the other. It's just what works for you. What are you interested in doing? Because I think this is kind of my argument on all this. People go to New Orleans and they fall in love with it because there is that freedom. There's that side that they get enchanted by, and then they move there and they realize there is a dark side to that. So I was telling James that to kind of like be aware when you move here.
Yeah.
Because there's bound to be that dark side. And he said, yeah, there is. And his friend John knew about it because he came here and taught English. And there's this side where American men move here, they teach English, which just makes you some money.
Yeah.
Drinks are cheap, so they drink, they get drunk a lot. They're getting all these women because they can.
Yeah.
And then they get stuck there. They're making very little money, so they can't really move back to the U.S. because they don't have enough money now. And then they've been here for years, so their resume is basically Thailand.
I think depending on what mentality you're in, especially coming from the U.S., I think Americans might view it as easier here.
Yeah, exactly.
Because things are cheaper and it's not as expensive.
And the women gravitate to you.
Exactly, but ultimately, like, what is your happiness? Is
totally.
And so that could be the bread and butter for a lot of people. But I know it's great to experience for a while, but this isn't my way of life. Like, this isn't where I could. It's amazing to see this type of lifestyle, and I understand why so many American men and people travel here, because it is just all the barriers are down. I mean, like I said, you're not being judged nearly as much. You don't have to deal with all the status quos. Ultimately, that would get old. And
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do a year here. I think I could do a few months.
Yeah.
But a year?
Exactly. No.
Yeah.
It's a lovely country. It's a lovely experience, but.
And I'm glad for him that he's doing it, because what an experience to live in a different country for a year. I totally.
But like I said, I think it's almost kind of taking like an easy way out for a little bit of American hustle, almost, or
And California is the toughest, but you grew up there, so you don't really know any different.
Exactly.
I mean, New Orleans is the big easy. When I moved to California, I was like, holy.
But I think people view that as it's also like kind of a party. It's a different culture. It is almost there. I mean,
New Orleans are here.
New Orleans too.
No, it totally is a different culture. I suffered extreme culture shock when I moved to LA.
Yeah.
How few Americans actually travel.
Outside of the U.S.
Or even inside the U.S.
I know.
Or how few Americans actually have a passport.
Yeah.
You're very optimistic. I'm like, I used to argue politics on Facebook a lot. I've just kind of checked out of the whole thing, and the reason why is because
it's not your battle.
Well, I was arguing because, I still believed in the system. I still believed in. I was still an idealist about it.
Yeah.
But whenever I saw the NFL has now surrendered to him and said, "You were right, we were wrong," and now he's
did this happen since I've been gone?
Yeah.
Whoa! What?
Yeah. They've acquiesced.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I know. You see. He figured out something more powerful than politics, the media. And he knows how to do sleight of hand with the media. He'll throw out some bullshit thing, and the media goes chomp on it because it's ridiculous and it's offensive. Meanwhile, he's doing his other little thing in the background. Whenever I heard that about the NFL, this is going to sound really bizarre. The NFL, you can watch the NFL and what the NFL does, and that's really the heart of America. Here's why.
The NFL is a non-profit, right?
They do a lot of profiting.
They're a non-profit organization.
Yeah, they don't pay taxes.
No
Right.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
This
is going to sound funny, but I told people this, and they kind of were like, what? I even told a black guy this, and it was like, he didn't, the year before Obama was elected, or the year he was elected, the Super Bowl was a face-off between two teams, and each had a black coach. So no matter what, for the first time in history, the Super Bowl was going to be won by a black coach. And I remember thinking, Obama will get elected now because a black coach won the Super Bowl. I remember thinking that distinctly, and then Obama won. Now, you can argue and say, well, that didn't necessarily mean that. I think it did. I think that was one extra push that he needed to win the presidential election, because if a black coach can win the NFL, and win the Super Bowl, then you're in. So when the NFL cowers to this man,
they pushed back for the first 2 weeks.
They did, but now they caved.
And I can't waste any fucking time on, to be honest.
And that's the story. That's the business.
I love it. I love this man.
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm stoked to be here. I'm ready to go on some adventures and experience this country the way it should be.
You ready to get back and clean up?
Yeah, yes, for
Let's
sure.
do it. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, like I mentioned, please click the like button and hit the subscribe button if you would like more of these videos, and the bell so that you can get notified when I put new videos out. If you'd like to get my free MidLife Manifesto, click this icon here. It'll bring you to a page where you just enter your email and the MidLife Manifesto will be emailed to you. The principles are universal. You can apply it really at any age and any gender. Again, it's coming from a perspective of a man in midlife. Wishing you joy, happiness, and passion at any point in your life. Take care.